Welcome to Frederick at its best. Today we are recognizing the 25th anniversary of Americans with Disabilities Act. And I'm Frederick County Executive Jan Gardner, and I'm joined here by a whole group of people who are on our county commission and also who are interested in this topic for a variety of reasons. Today we celebrate the 25th anniversary of Americans with Disabilities Act, which passed in 1990. 25 years ago, our nation committed itself to the elimination of discrimination against people with disabilities. And it was intended to lead us to a future where all the doors were open to equality, to opportunity, to full participation, to independent living, to integration into society, to economic self-sufficiency for people with disabilities. Through the implementation of ADA over the past 25 years, tremendous progress has been made. It strengthened the capacity for people with developmental disabilities to live fully integrated lives in our community. Frederick County is certainly a welcoming community, and we want to ensure and value and embrace our diversity and guarantee freedom, equal opportunity, and access for each other, because that makes our community strong. Cities and towns throughout the country, and certainly here in Frederick County, comply with ADA. And this has meant a lot of things. It's meant we've made buildings accessible, parking, sidewalks, polling places, and emergency services. And we've done this throughout our communities. It's become part of our public life. And it's changed things for the better over the last 25 years. And certainly as a county government, or as local government, we want to make sure that people can come into our facilities, whether they're looking to get a permit, to adopt a pet, to find out information, and to access our parks and recreations, our senior services. And we want to make sure that people have equal access to employment, to housing, to education, to healthcare, and to transportation. And some of the areas that have made a significant difference, I think, is really in transportation. In Frederick County, we've expanded our transit services. We offer paratransit. And recently, we've put out a pilot program for use of vouchers for taxi cab service, which really for the first time provides options for people in the evening and on weekends. And I think it's really important that people who have a disability, can't drive, have the ability to get where they want to go 24 hours a day. So those are just some of the things that I think we have made a difference in Frederick County. So with that, I'll read the proclamation. Whereas on July 26, 1990, President George H.W. Bush signed into law the Americans with Disabilities Act to ensure the civil rights of people with disabilities. This legislation established a clear and comprehensive national mandate for the elimination of discrimination against individuals with disabilities. And whereas on July 26, 2015, our country celebrated the 25th anniversary of the signing of the American with Disabilities Act. And whereas the Act has expanded opportunities for Americans with disabilities by reducing barriers, changing public perception, and by encouraging the opportunity for full participation in community life. The full promise of the Act will only be achieved if we remain committed to continue our efforts to fully implement the Americans with Disabilities Act. And whereas if access is ensured to people with disabilities, we know that everyone in our community benefits. Now, therefore, as the County Executive of Frederick County, Maryland, I hereby join in celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act in Frederick County, recognizing the progress that has been made, reaffirming the principles of equality and inclusion, and recommitting our efforts to reach compliance with the Act. I do commend this observance to all of our citizens, and it's signed and presented today, August 18th, 2015. And I can certainly say from taking care of my husband's grandmother who is in a wheelchair, if you really want to take somebody out in a wheelchair, you're very aware of where you can go, where you can't go. You go into a retail store, sometimes you can't get through the aisles because the store is too packed. And you can gain some understanding of that. My daughter also takes care of a little girl who has cerebral palsy, can't walk without the assistance of a walker. She's probably always going to have a walker. And we just love this child dearly. Our whole family loves her. I consider her my grandchild. And we want her to have access and opportunities to everything that's good in life for her future. And so this touches all of us. It touches all of our families. It's really important to everyone. that we are aware that this is an important issue in our community. We've made a lot of progress. We still have a way to go. And so it's important for us to continue to make sure that people with disabilities are treated fairly in our community, and that we do what we need to do to make sure that there is access to equal opportunity for everyone. So with that, I'm going to pass the microphone and allow each person standing here the opportunity to introduce themselves and to add whatever comments they'd like to make.
My name's Josh Rao. I'm on the Frederick County Commission on Disabilities and also an employee at the Freedom Center.
My name is Mary Lee. That is my first and last name. I am a member of the Commission on Disabilities as well as a member of the Human Relations Commission. I am privileged and honored, and it's my pleasure to advocate on behalf of each one of those groups. I also was affected in 2012 with a disability personally, and I also agree that Frederick County has come a long way. We still have some ways to go, as well as the country, but I look forward to help being part of that team to advocate further.
Hi, my name is Denise Rudiger, and I'm the liaison for the Commission on Disabilities. I work in Frederick County Human Resources, and as far as a personal issue that's touched me is my son has a disability, so as a mother with a child with special needs, I understand the importance of the ADA and what it has afforded him, and I'm very grateful that in 1990 that was passed and my son can benefit from it.
I'm Polly Ann Simpson, and I've had the wonderful opportunity to help people and friends and family who suffer from a disability.
Diane Warning. I have been in Frederick for over 15 years. I can remember in Delaware at my place employment before 1990, having a co-worker approached me, telling me the possibility of the ADA Act and how it would affect hundreds of thousands of people throughout the United States. I have had a wonderful experience in Maryland to be part of a Frederick local group for advocacy, and I'm also on People on the Hill, which is a state program that we attend on a monthly and a quarterly basis, and we as that group have been to Annapolis and Washington, D.C. on a 24-hour notice. And the last time we did that in February, there were over 600 people from the disabled population, and we had opportunity to help get laws revised and rewritten and passed. And for me, as someone who was told at one point, no, having the opportunity to help others who may not be able to voice their opinion, but they can find other ways to be part of their communities. And I think that's vitally important at any aspect in our lives. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Mallory Marty, and I serve as the Vice Chair on the Commission on Disabilities, and I also work for the Division of Rehabilitation Services as a transitioning youth counselor.
And I'm Cheryl Triantos. I'm the Secretary on the Commission on Disabilities, and I also work for the Division of Rehab Services, working with deaf and hard of hearing population.
Alderwoman Donna Kazamchak from the City of Frederick. I am the City of Frederick's liaison to the Human Relations Commission. This is something near and dear to my heart. I had a stepdaughter from 2002 until 2008. She passed away in 2008, and I learned how difficult it was to take a child with a wheelchair through, as Executive Gardner said, anywhere, really. I can tell you that we've a long way to go. I try to walk through our city streets sometimes and we've got to do some more work, but I am so proud of the way we've moved forward toward equality for all.
Hi, my name is Mary Kemp. I am the Director of Independent Living Services at the Freedom Center in Frederick County. The Freedom Center is a nonprofit that serves all people in Frederick and Carroll County with disabilities, regardless of disabilities. And we just celebrated the ADA in Washington, where 1,000 of us marched from H Street to Capitol Hill to talk to our legislators so that we can have things keep moving forward. And thank you, Frederick, for what you've already done.
Hello, my name is Keith Nolan, and I'm the president of the Commission on Disabilities, and my father went to the ADA celebration 1990 with President Bush. I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for the ADA this time. And it's really given me a lot of opportunity, a lot of access. And I'm really proud of being a citizen here in Frederick County. We have a lot of services provided here. And also being a chairperson for Frederick Commission Disabilities, please give us a contact, because we still have a lot of work to be done here.
Hi, my name is Nadine Autry. I work at the Freedom Center. In 1999, I became disabled. I had no clue what the ADA was. I now know what the ADA is because I am a product of that service. I am a job development specialist at the Freedom Center, and my job there is to help individuals who want to go back to work have the opportunity to go back to work and know what benefits are available to them. So I'm a product of that program, and I am actually a person with a disability who went back to work, worked my way off benefits, and I'm looking forward to the future.
Okay. I want to thank everybody for being here, for your work on the commission, your work in rehabilitation services, your work with the Freedom Center. We really appreciate all that you do in our community for citizens with disabilities. I will tell you there's a couple unique things I think we do in Frederick County. One of them is text to 911, which really is important for our deaf community, but it also has benefits for virtually everybody else in the community who may find themselves in a situation where that is the best way for them to communicate. And it's really not available in the rest of Maryland. And I did bring that up at the Maryland Association of Counties this week, and it is something that we need to have a broader in our region so that more people can use that. They get accustomed to it here and they go someplace else and they find out it doesn't exist. I also have announced that we're going to take 520 North Market and turn it into a workforce housing project, and we will have 9 units there that are fitted out specifically for people with disabilities, and that's in partnership with Interface Housing Alliance and a developer called Pearl. So we're at the beginning stages of moving that project forward, and I think it's important that in government that we do these things and are a model for everyone else in our community. So we look forward to hearing from you on issues that you think need to be addressed, and so that we can continue to move Frederick County forward. So thank you for joining us today and for celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Americans with Disability Act.